Gus Dock 9 will be a bow into the starboard.
Know what it is now.
You do?
It's
I'm guaranteed I'm not taking this boat back to Anacortes, so.
I'm Scott, and this is Allie, and we live in Seattle. Over the last several years, we've owned and operated 2 boats in the Pacific Northwest. And now we're on our search for our liveaboard cruiser. So hit the subscribe button now to come along with us on our boating journey and see where it leads.
We left Stewart Island in the late morning and headed to Friday Harbor, which is about 13 nautical miles south. The weather was great with light winds coming from the south, so it was a perfect cruise all the way there.
About to see. Know what it is now.
You do?
It's a dripless shaft on the port side. It is? Yeah. Oh, really? You can't see it unless you had the flashlight got on your head.
Then we're not taking it back to Anacortes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that didn't last long. I just posted a quick story that we were underway. And while we were underway, my brother-in-law has been checking on it. We thought it was coming in through the stern thruster, and he was able finally to see that it's the dripless shaft that is leaking. So, on top of that, the bilge pump does not work, even though it had popped out. Guaranteed I'm not taking this boat back to Anacortes, so.
Yeah, we're just outside the Marina. We're just calling ahead to see what our slip assignment is for Gus Mortgage tonight.
Okay, yeah, no worries. You can take out whichever one you like. Put a Friday Harbor standing by. Come in.
Thank you.
Another quick update for everyone. We have made it to Friday Harbor and we've solved the problem. It turns out that the dripless shaft on the port side is leaking and the pump never did. Whatever was around the seal, this will be aft bilge pump, still doesn't work, and they're going to send a mechanic. They think they can adjust the seals and that we might be safe to go back to Anacortes tomorrow, but we don't know. So we'll see what happens when he comes down. He's got to replace the bilge pump and check the seals around the shaft, but we made it. The way we got here is every 20 minutes we would stop, let all the bilges pump out, go again, stop. So we stopped about 4 times just to make sure we got in safely. And we are in Friday Harbor on the linear dock. We're on D. So at least the mystery is solved and we're safe.
After lunch, we headed into the heart of Friday Harbor and walked around and checked out the town. They have one main road that has a variety of little shops and restaurants. Unfortunately, a lot of them are still closed. After walking around town, it was time for us to cool off, and we came upon Herb's Tavern. Herb's is the oldest tavern in Friday Harbor, and it's got a lot of character to it.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
What do you say? You're cute. Well, we just got back from walking around town and we got a new neighbor.
The fishing boat next to us was an all-woman crew, and they were just returning from a fishing trip in Alaska. They actually chartered this fishing boat from Fisherman's Terminal. It was pretty cool spending time and talking with them. Pretty impressive.
Try reverse. Try reverse. Oh, wait. That's good. You can secure it, Scott.
Yeah, we can go ahead and just shut it down.
Shut it down. Can you see see it?
Here's down slightly against this plate.
I see.
So, you know, if it gets off to the side just a little bit, some water comes in.
Yeah, a lot. Okay.
So it just doesn't.
But, you know, it's really tight.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, I gotta put all my weight on it there to get it to come back at all.
Right. Well, it definitely leaks when we're
Yeah, there's
underway.
enough torque on it while we're underway
Uh-huh.
to cause the same problem.
I mean, that was a shitload of water you just had bump out there, wasn't it?
Well,
think
I
that's
mean,
a technical measurement.
like I said,
I've seen much worse. I've seen much worse.
right,
So maybe that would be one thing. I'll leave this cover off.
right,
And once we get out underway, you know, if all it is it's just sitting to one side like this, you know, and we could, you know, just kind of
bump
it
it.
over to where it kind of sits steady. Maybe, you know, if I just move this clamp here this way just a little bit to
Sure.
hold it over
Sure.
so that it can't fall that way. It seems like it almost kind of wants to jump over. You know, there's a certain point that it wants to sit over on that side.
Right.
Not so much this way. If I pull it over this way, it goes back to sealed.
No, it didn't.
Well, it is.
If I push it this way, it stays right there.
I will say though, tomorrow morning when we're ready to leave, we don't want to spend hours troubleshooting this.
Yeah.
We just want to get back and put this.
But it's
behind
leaking
us.
every way you pull it, is what I'm noticing.
Yeah, it'll be like that. Let me just kind of tighten this up some. And now it's a little less sensitive.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't think the aft bilge pump is going to help with this issue.
Well, I'll
Well,
put
it
it
will
this way.
because all the water that's leaking goes to the aft,
Oh,
and
when
it'll
you're,
help
when you're
at least
underway.
offload that while we're underway.
So the drama's over, right?
We've always got more.
The drama's over for the evening.
Never say never.
Never say never. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
So he's put in a new
Bilge pump.
bilge pump. And,
And we made sure it pumped.
Yeah, we turned
And
it on.
okay.
But we turned on the old one, and it turned on and
for a
off.
while.
So we'll see what happens.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, yesterday we tested it, the old one.
Oh.
Yeah, it worked for a while.
The problem, yeah, the
But
problem
it's
with, yeah, once we reset the breaker on it, it worked.
I thought you didn't know if it was going to work until we were underway, and that's when we determined it wasn't working.
Well, when
Well,
we
it worked for a second.
yeah, and then the breaker popped on.
Well, so we're going to make the trek on our own back to
We'll make it
Anacortes.
fine. It might take a little while.
Well, I feel a lot better because the mechanic that worked on it said that he's seen it a lot worse.
Worse.
So instead of 400
So,
gallons,
when I-
I figured it out, we had about 500
Yeah,
gallons.
that's what we
worth
figured,
of
about
water.
500 gallons of water.
Give or take.
Yeah, so when that
in an hour and a half.
that was a
Yeah.
great scene when he pressed on. He goes, "It's actually very firm here." Water shoots out. He goes, "Oh, I've seen it worse than
Not a
that."
squirter.
Again, reverse is down.
Let's see. Up. And off we go.
And then where do you think we go? This way?
Yeah. I think we can go under docks and stuff like that. But we can do. And then,
What's happening here?
where you're going?
Why are we?
Because you're steering funny.
Because
you go.
why? This is a weird.
Now go. Now go forward.
I don't know if it was filming. So we just made it through there. We're taking a tour of the Marina. Now those I'm okay with. Oh my god. Let's see if I can make it through these without hitting these.
You gotta.
Oh my god, look at that pink sailboat over there. It's an old ferry boat that they've turned into their home. Now where do you think we go? Are we getting ready to die?
No.
Oh. Watch the ferry takes off on us and we're gonna be in high seas.
After a day of drama, it was time to unwind, and we headed over to Downriggers to enjoy a beautiful evening with a beautiful sunset, great food, and great friends. We couldn't have asked for a better last night.
Well, off we go, Captain.
Yep, here we go on our way home.
See if
Hope we don't sink.
Me too. Are back home.
Yeah, 6 hours ago we were in Friday Harbor.
And so we don't know what's going to happen yet. You'll need to tune into the next episode, possibly, unless we find out something here in the next few days. We're waiting for the general manager to contact us to make right. We had really no troubles. We didn't have to do the stop for 20, and this was because the aft
Bilge pump was
finally working
on our last night. But it ran pretty much the whole way back.
It ran the whole way, spitting out water, and we made it across in about an hour and a half. We were going about 14 knots, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty quick timing.
And pretty easy process. You do have to fill up. So there was a little bit of a wait at the fuel dock, which wasn't too bad actually. And then you have to take all of your garbage off, and that's really it. You don't have to clean. They do have some.
Yeah, the checkout was a lot, or check-in, I don't know, point of view,
checkout. And
was much easier than
they had a handler
the
there. Yeah, they had a handler on the dock, and he brought down carts.
Yep.
And then he kind of just walked through and checked us off for no damage, and we gave him any updates, like the dinghy kept cutting out, or the light kept coming on the dinghy, so that was something they needed to know about. I think that was really about it. But then we had to go to the office. Well, we didn't have to go to the office. We chose to go to the office to see if we knew what they were going to do for us, and like I said, the manager was not in today, so.
So we'll give them till tomorrow and see what happens, and hopefully we have good news to report to everybody, and I'm assuming AYC is going to take care of us.
Yeah, I mean, our ultimate goal, we've kind of summarized one thing, that with them and with everybody, I think that the owner of this boat and AYC are very fortunate that we're experienced boaters. And that we had my brother-in-law with us, who's a chief engineer on the ferries for 30 years. Any other couple might not have known what to do, and the engine room would have flooded. So, they're just lucky, and we're the ones that basically diagnosed it eventually, because we took a piece of plywood.
Well, Kurt was.
There was a piece of plywood, and we'll show you some footage. So in this video that you would have already seen, of the water coming out of the shaft. So it's scary. So I think in all, we're waiting to see how does this work. I mean, our channel is not a huge channel, but we have a lot of really devoted followers. Right. And AYC can either make right so that we give them a really great, here's what happens when bad things happen, or if they don't take care of us,
we'll let you know that as well.
We'll let you know that too. So we're glad to be home. It was a great trip.
Oh, it's great.
We were bummed that we didn't get to explore and go places. I just did not feel comfortable. I mean, yes, we could have gone and pumped out, but you don't know if those...
We survived our first anchoring.
I was worried that obviously the aft bilge had been working for the previous charter the day they came in, and it just finally gave out on us. And so you don't know when the middle bilge will
Right.
have given out. So
Right.
all in all, it worked out. And if we definitely go back to the San Juans.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely go back to San
Go
Juan.
back.
Anybody will do that.
It seems like every time I go there, though, something happens.
Yeah. 2 for 2 so far.
2 for 2. So it was a great trip. So tune in. We've got some more tours coming up for you, and which should be pretty fun. And I don't know in the schedule, but we actually are taking sailing lessons, at least a couple mini ones first, to see how we like it. So that'll be coming up here shortly as well.
Be sure to tune in to our next episode where we'll give you a full tour of the Meridian 411 while we are at anchor. It's not going to be as pretty as we normally would have a tour because we were actually living on it, but that'll give you a pretty good insight on how well the boat stored items and how well it worked for the charter. We'll also give you an update on what Anacortes yacht charters did for us in the end.
Please leave your comments down below. We love hearing from you, and it's been great answering a lot of the questions that people have asked us. Also, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to download the notification.
The YouTube app.
Yeah, it's a YouTube app. That's how you get notifications for new episodes. They're not sending out emails anymore. So, and then also follow us on social media. We try to do that in real time. And we've got a lot of things that are coming up, and you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Boating Journey. So until next time, we'll see you later.